Here's a good one that shows you how you can zoom into a close-up to highlight this key moment, the high moment. This is from James Patterson's novel, Kill Me If You Can. And this will be the last one I think I read, and then I can open up for questions here. But when the post-rush hour lull at Grand Central is shattered by gunshots and followed by 2 loud explosions, only one thing comes to mind: terrorist attack. In an instant, the collective paranoia was justified. Mass panic ensued. The screams echoed off the walls of the marble cavern. The first thing I saw was that nobody ducked for cover. Everybody ran, with visions of the crumbling towers replaying in their heads, I'm sure. So that's a long shot, maybe a pan. He's panning and watching all these people running. And then I couldn't see a thing. Red smoke filled the building. I ran like the rest of them. And then I saw it in the smoky haze, a trail of blood. Okay, now he's angling on this thing that he sees. He's telling the reader to pay attention to that. Instinctively, I followed it, and then I saw him. So that camera shot would be called follows and finds. Okay, that's how you would read it in a script. He was a big bear of a man, slumped against a bank of lockers in a pool of his own blood from a gaping wound in his neck. So that's pretty much a full shot, or yeah, a full or medium shot, because he can see the whole body. Close-up is usually head and shoulders. But you have a full shot of this guy, and you can see this wound in his neck and there's blood. Obviously, this guy's been shot. Okay? In all the madness, nobody was paying any attention to him. I knelt at his side, so there's a 2-shot. My knee hit something hard, a gun. So now there's an insert, right? Get doctor, stop blood. He gurgled out the words in a thick Russian accent, but there was no time for a doctor, no time for anything. Before I could say a word, his eyes rolled back in his head and he exhaled a strained breath. He was dead. That's close up. His dark blue suit and the floor around him glistened with blood. Okay, so now he's pulling back. It coated the door of the bottom locker closest to him. As I looked up, I saw a wide swath of red where he had leaned against the upper locker and slid to the ground. So his camera's panning. Locker 925 was covered in bloody handprints. There's another angle on. It was open, wide open. So then we wonder what's in the locker. That's how he leaves you dangling at the end of the scene, although the back cover copy tells you that he finds jewels in this locker. But you see how beautifully, I mean, he's, this master technique, but he's using this camera and working his way all the way through to angle right onto that thing that he wants you to see. You're standing.
Yes, I'm standing.
Because we're going to do questions.
It's time to wrap up for questions.
Okay.
So do we have any questions right now?
I have one.
All right, well, let's start with this one because your hand was first.
Yell out.
Yes, so I have seen its opening, it's an aerial pan,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how to do that because I'm visioning from above and
Right.
seeing a motorcycle go down the road,
Yeah.
and a car approaching from the opposite. So I can see that in the script, those would be the directions, it's in the valley, cars approaching. How do I write that from the aerial?
Yeah, but you could write that exactly like we started with that first establishing shot. You can just even say that, like, you could say something like, down below on the highway was, a car is like on that stretch of road, and you can even say a mile below on the highway. I mean, you can just set your camera wherever you want to set it, and what you're seeing.